Alright, so this story came out today as if we did not already know. I told you right away after the Nevada debate when each candidate except Bernie Sanders said democracy should not prevail and whoever goes into the convention with the most delegates does not matter. The process should play out. As soon as they said the superdelegates should be able to steal the election, the nomination, I predicted that it would happen at the convention, that their plan is to fragment everything, blame it on Bernie Sanders being a bad candidate, being a tool of Russia, saying he doesn't have moderate appeal, he's divisive, he has Bernie bros, all of these smears. He is sympathetic to authoritarianism in Cuba. They'll use all of these reasons as dumb and fake issues in order to give the nomination to somebody else. And with this new report that superdelegates were contacted and interviewed, and they were asked if they would be willing to give their delegates to whoever has the most votes, they basically said no. And it's not surprising. I believe we will all agree the Democratic Party would rather have Donald Trump get reelected than to have Bernie Sanders be president. It's pretty obvious. Donald Trump keeps the Democratic Party in power. It keeps donations coming in. Democrats can be fake resistors instead of actually having to stand up for anything because Donald Trump is so bad. Bernie Sanders would actually take power away from the Democratic establishment. The Republican elites love Trump. The Democratic elites don't have that big of a problem with Trump. But the Republican elites and Democratic elites both hate Bernie Sanders. If that doesn't show you something about Bernie, I don't know what does. And that's an argument you got to tell to people. Why do both elites hate Bernie, but they both don't mind or love Donald Trump? Just bring that point up. But overall, when they finally do this, when we get to the convention and they say we don't care about the party fracturing, we don't care about riots, when they do this, I hope they know that they are basically saying screw you to the younger generation of progressives, of people on the left who are going to be voting for the next 60 to 70 to 80 years. I mean, as long as we can outlive the coronavirus. But this is the base the Democratic Party has to depend on going into the future. So I don't know if they just don't care about us supporting the Democratic Party. Would they rather things become fractured, or if they're too stupid to understand that we are going to keep the legacy of Bernie Sanders alive long after his death, long after this election, next election, the election after that. Like, we will hold their feet to the fire. Whatever happens at this convention, if they steal it from Bernie Sanders, even if they don't steal it from Bernie Sanders, the Democratic Party, the left, is ours. It's the younger generation, 45 and under. We're taking it over, 100%. And they're willing to do whatever it takes to stop Bernie Sanders. And that's why Bernie Sanders is really our guy. He's not going to change. He's not going to give any room, any wiggle room to them. I know Elizabeth Warren loves to flip flop. She loves to go against democracy. She thinks she will be the pick out of the convention after a fourth place finish, but she is pretty bad at being politically aware of what's actually happening. And it's very apparent from her previous mistakes that she doesn't know how to advance herself. She tries to be Machiavellian and try to get the end she wants, but it never works. She probably is being told if she stays in the race, steals enough momentum from Sanders in the progressive wing, that she will be picked at the convention as the middle pick that'll get left people and people in the middle because she is safe and they know she actually won't change anything. But I guarantee you it's going to be swayed to Bloomberg or Biden. Elizabeth Warren is in over her head. I'm happy this report came out because it gives legitimacy to what we have been saying for a long time. And, when it does happen, if it does happen, we just got to make sure they know that our power as a movement is bigger than their corporations will ever be. We're writing the history books from here on out. The older generation might be holding us back. But as soon as that generation literally dies off, we are rewriting the history books the way we want. I don't care what Obama says. We're going to remember like Obama. We're going to remember Clinton. We're going to remember them for all they actually were. They might have the older generation captured. Pelosi might. The Democratic establishment might have the older generation captured. But we will make sure the rest of history remembers them in infamy if they prevent democracy. But, they can still do the right thing.